There you go. Exactly where I was when I got there. And I was going to say, wow. A lot older than you.
I got too many computers on.
I remember.
If one thing goes wrong, you can't work on it yourself. You gotta take it to
I'm not saying that's what you did.
Represent what I just gave you. Well, I could only give it to you that the classes like open that. It's nothing to get back. No, I'm trying to, well, I'm trying to keep everybody.
Yes, it's just like it is.
it's like a small control device. And push it.
I got you.
Still sticking on. When the smallest blue dog, still going.
There's two pairs.
Basically, last in payroll, anything support what we have.
Let me tell you a story on that. I
Hey, Bill Vance.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm still all
These meetings over the last 45 minutes, we don't know where Rodney's going. We were all home by 7.
Tell her that.
What'd you do with your walk tonight? Hey, how are you? I usually try and sit on the end.
Sit on here?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll speak on the
That's all right. You said they can know.
Do a lot better. Everybody get off to school?
We have a full house.
I might stop by sign. Oh, wait, that was
Free ice cream and dairy.
What?
Free ice cream and dairy queen.
Really?
Free ice cream today. Dollar and a half.
Let's go.
Go to Dairy Queen. Need a new location for you.
Most of it's right there on the land back. Right there in the force. 5 acres, 5, 7.
Where you been, Wilson?
We're actually coming in.
They tell me there's
4
4
acres. Sign down there. We got 4 offices. Then maybe they take way up. It has a good bit of, but I'm gonna get in.
The meeting is now called for the regular session of the Natchitoches Parish Council. We will have the invocation by Rachel, and we're going to ask Mr. Baker to do the pledge.
Dear Lord, we come to you, thank you for letting us turn aside to come tonight, Lord, to conduct your business, Lord. Just pray that we just join together for the best interest of the people, Lord, not any personal agendas. You just give us a good meeting, Lord, that we'd have the people that at heart and the best interest of them, Lord. We conduct ourselves in a Christian manner. We everybody attend us tonight, but for the head, I'll give back for amen.
Amen.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, do a roll call.
Mr. Biggood,
Present.
Mrs. Hoover,
Yes.
Mr. Good, Mr. Ratio,
Here.
Mr. Page,
I see him walking in through the door.
He's here.
There he is.
Mr. Page. Here.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start now.
Can I get a motion to amend the agenda?
Are you gonna amend it?
Oh, to adopt the agenda, I'm sorry. Okay.
But I do have some amendments, Madam Chair. The first one, Mr. Rick Nolan, has brought to our attention today that Mr. Michael Richardson's term on the board of Fire District 4 has expired and he desires to be reappointed. And he's asking the council to consider amending the agenda to approve the reappointment of Mr. Michael Richardson to the board of Fire District 4. And I gave you a copy of that one. The next one is that Mr. Rick Nolan again is asking the council to put back on the agenda to consider the addition of resolution number 6, 2017 in support of the ad valorem tax renewals for Parish Road, District 40, Parish Library, Parish Health Unit, and Parish Buildings.
What exactly, first off, I'm here, so whoever signed it, now, what
The
is that
first-
last comment?
Okay, the first, these are just, these amendments that he wanna put to the agenda tonight. The first one to add Mr. Michael Richardson,
Well, I heard
Fire
that one, I'm
District.
talking about
The next one is to consider resolution number 6, 2017 in support of the ad valorem tax renewals for Parish Road, District 40, Parish Library, Parish Health Unit, and Parish Buildings.
So what do you ask, Mr. Nolan, question to you with this, you're asking the council to make it public that they, support
That's correct.
Just like you elaborate a little bit on it.
The resolution simply states that now the council sometime back approved the ballot, to put these things on the ballot, and I think this would give the council an opportunity to let the public know where they stand and to actually support the renewals.
Well, I'm glad
So they could be considered in global or individual.
I'm glad you made that comment because a lot of people don't understand. A lady stopped me the other day thinking that she was going to have a choice to vote for the library or for roads, like it was competing against one another. And I think that enough explanation have not been put out there, or maybe the council, some of the council members may not be clear on just what those, well, you can drop your mouth if you want, but some of them, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them, because you do have some people. Carol and I sit here years ago, and I talked about monies for the library. There was a lot of money, and you said a book must have fell off the shelf and hit me in the head. So now you have council members. Oh, I know, that was 20 years ago, I understand that. But what I'm telling you now, you do have some council members who do not support the library tax.
But do they know the difference?
Well,
You just said they might not know the difference.
they may not. If you're gonna be opposed to it,
Serious?
I think that they need to be able to elaborate a little bit more on it.
Ms. Hoover, has there been
I
a motion?
recognize,
Has there been a motion?
No, we haven't been a motion, but we're having discussion at this point.
Yes, sir, usually a motion and a second would occur before discussion.
Well, I imagine we will revisit this again because I see that the attorney is present. Go ahead. Are you wanting to have a motion? I'll make a motion that we, is that all, Ms. Sherman?
That's it.
Okay, I just wanted to clarification first off. Thank you.
I'd like to make a statement.
Debbie,
Maybe, we also have another addition to the budget revision for highway. Mr. Prince, you want to tell, we want to add bottom ash and, the gap fund. It's a grant that we have, that it wasn't added at the beginning of the grant, of the budget, and they're ready to spend some money, so we're needing to add that. That's, you ought to have you gave them a copy?
Well, we have an ordinance, I think Mr. Rashall is the person that, about that for any amendments need to be in by the Wednesday before the meeting. And we will not be taking any amendments or anything about before us. Now, on the president, I just want to say, as chairman of this board, I feel disrespected. I feel that the council has been disrespected also. This resolution should have been done by the council, not by the president. Just as the council cannot interfere in the day-to-day operation, the president cannot interfere in the body setting of the agenda. We are the body that sets the agenda at the discretion, not at the discretion of the president. Can I get a motion to amend this agenda? These agenda items. All of them.
I make a motion that we adopt the amendments to the agenda.
One second.
Mr. Rasher,
Yes.
Mr. Page,
Yes.
Mr. Baygood,
Then what you vote no?
we just amended to put
Yeah,
those
yeah.
Just to have
on
discussion
there,
about
yeah.
exactly whether you
Okay.
support or not. Yeah.
Mr. Doug,
Yes.
Mrs. Hoover? Okay, it's now been amended, and those items are added.
Now can we have
We can
discussion?
have a discussion now.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Madam Chair, with all due respect, it is within the prerogative of the parish president to add items to the council agenda. The council chair, the council chair sets the agenda. But barring any local statute to the contrary, I think state law provides that the parish president can add items to the agenda that he wishes to add. Otherwise, you would only hear, the public would only hear the items that the council wanted brought forth to the public. I think that there are some cases from time to time where the council and the parish president may not be in agreement on that issue. But I think it's a matter of protocol and a matter of transparency. So if you feel disrespected, I very much regret that. But I think that I was totally within my rights to do so. And until the attorney tells me I'm not, then I will continue to offer items for the agenda.
And I can appreciate part of what you've said, but when there's anything that you want, you pick up the telephone to call me. And as chairman of this board, if you wanted this agenda item, now I'm gonna tell you why I feel that way. I have people that are friends that are in my district that is for it, and I have some that is not for it. So I'm for my friends.
Thank you.
Friends that is for it and not for it. So I think that our constituents should be able to decide. That's why they have a vote, that's why we vote. And that's why that curtain is there. To go out and vote how they please to vote. for me to say publicly whether I'm for or against something, I've never heard of any government body asking the council to give their vote openly. And I think, again, I think it's very disrespectful that you would ask this council to vote openly. And the people of this parish is the people who actually will make that decision. Thank you so kindly.
You're correct. The people will make the decision. Some of the people are not as well informed about the matters as you are, Madam Chair, and they might would appreciate knowing where you stand on the issues. But I don't want to belabor the point. Thank you.
It has been seconded. Okay.
To adopt it.
Okay, can I get a motion to adopt it? I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion that, where are we?
We adopted here.
I'll make a motion to be done to the agenda.
It's been, adopted and second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Page?
Yes.
Mr. Doug?
Yes.
Mr. Baygood?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoover?
Yes.
Mr. Ruscio?
Yes.
It's adopted.
Next, we will have the visitors. At this time, we will have Mr. Bob Brotherton, President of the Bossier Parish Police Jury.
Good afternoon. I'm here to introduce myself. I'm really here to let y'all know that there is a special election with Louisiana Police Jury Association for Executive Board that will be at the end of April. And I believe the Inco Parish is the host parish that will be hosting that. And Mr. Dartois from the Police Jury Association is asking that each parish send at least one or two members from their jury to attend that meeting. And again, I am Bob Brotherton. I put a bio of myself in front of you. You may see it says Coach Brotherton up there. There's a reason for that. That reason is that I was a high school coach for 33 years and an educator. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I coached at Halton High School for 33 years. I spent every year there. I graduated from there in 1970. I'm honored to say that I attended school at Northwestern State University, and I got my BS there along with my wife, my two sons, and my two daughter-in-laws. So we are all alumni. We are a Demon family. Coaching throughout those years, I sent many a kid to Northwestern. That really has nothing to do with what I'm here, but I do like to brag a little bit. In 1976, I coached a young man who is synonymous with Northwestern, and after this, Joe Delaney. Joe Delaney played football for me, and he also ran track for me. And I am honored to say that I did have a privilege to coach him, and as you know, he died as a national hero. I also just want to throw this in. This has, again, nothing to do with my candidacy, but being from Halton and being a proud Buccaneer, I also had the privilege to coach a young man who is now starring in the Rookie of the Year, All-Pro, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is also from Halton. We're very proud of that. I was telling somebody earlier this afternoon, I really didn't coach that a whole lot because I retired in '07, but I will tell you this, and I'm very proud of this. My son, who is now the head coach, football coach at Halton High School, was Dak Prescott's high school quarterback coach. So we are proud of that. And I want to say one other thing. The fastest time in the nation, 100-meter dash, just this weekend, was a young man that runs track for Northwestern, Michael Larkins. The fastest time in the nation. He was also from Halton. He's from Halton, too. I want to put that in, let y'all know. And it's kind of coincidence. It probably has never happened this way in history. But not only is the fastest man in the nation who is running for Northwestern from Halton, but also the fastest man in the nation in high school is also running from Halton. So we have the fastest high school guy in the nation and the fastest college guy in the nation. Just want to let y'all know. But I am Bob Brotherton, Coach Brotherton. That's what my friends call me. That's what everybody calls me. I do have 2 sons. I'm married 45 years to my one and only wife, my high school sweetheart. We attended school down here together. We were married all 4 years that we were here. And both my sons are high school coaches. Both of them are married, both of them to NSU alumni also. Each one has 2 children, so I am the proud grandfather of 4 grandchildren, and believe me, they are spoiled, and I try to spoil them ever since I get. But I'm here to tell you about myself, what I do. I am currently the president of Natchitoches Parish Police Jury. I was vice president last year. I serve on 15 standing committees. I either serve as a member on that committee or I chair that committee. The good thing about me is spending 33 years in education. My wife and I started on the same day. We retired on the same day in 2007. It worked out just perfect for us, which gives me the time to do what I do. I am retired, and I really believe that that's why I'm the best candidate. If there are other candidates, and I don't know if there are or not, but if there are, I think I will be the best because I have the time to put into it. I can dedicate my time just as I dedicated my time to Natchitoches Parish and the Natchitoches Parish Police Jury, and just as I dedicated my time throughout 33 years of coaching and being a classroom teacher. I also taught at Nipsey as a professor of life skills and life-saving skills, EMT, called first responder classes and so forth. Taught for wildlife and fisheries, as a hunter safety instructor, as a boating safety instructor, and I've always volunteered for the American Red Cross. I feel like all those can contribute to what I can do for Region 4, our 10 parish region on the executive board. I can't tell you how many nights I've sat up writing lesson plans. I can't tell you how many weekends and how many afternoons I've sat down and made practice plans and game plans. I've been a public servant for over 40 years. I feel like being an educator and a coach, I was also a public servant there. I have carried that out. I'm asking for you to support me. I hope that I got your support. I hope that you will cast your votes, send your people to the meeting, and cast that vote for Bob Brotherton. And if you don't remember me, just remember Coach, because that's the way it's going to be listed there also as Coach Brotherton. Thank you. I know that y'all are busy, and I know what these meetings are like, so I'm going to excuse myself. I have a pretty good ride back home. Do I have any questions?
I just want to say thank you for coming out, and we certainly don't want this panel to tell you the record that Natchitoches have in sports as well.
I know,
Okay.
and I've kept up with y'all for a long, long time. You really have. Thank you, and y'all have a good afternoon.
And where's the meeting?
The meeting right now, I don't know if they've set a site yet, but it will be in Bienville Parish. Bienville Parish should be hosting.
Correspondent.
What, the
And
Police
you
Jury
might have,
Association?
yes, Bienville Parish president to find out where
For the
that
meeting?
is.
State
Actually,
meeting? For the state meeting?
it is a
Region
special,
4, you're
it's a
right.
special meeting for Region 4, which is 10 parishes.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Thank you so
Thank
kindly.
you. Y'all have a good
And
day.
have traveling grace back home.
Appreciate it.
Miss Letitia Moses, Matrika Moses from Bermuda Road. Sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan, Parish Government, for giving us an opportunity to speak on behalf of our road, which is in need of some repairs. Over a year ago, Reverend Elair and I asked citizens, residents on Bermuda Road to sign a petition, also St. Paul church members that are affected by the road conditions to sign a petition. We turned it in, and at that meeting, we were told that we were on the list for an overlay. At the time, we were relieved just to know that we were, on the list for some type of relief for the road. I don't believe we were aware of what an overlay entails. Is anyone able to tell us what an overlay would do for us? Because I think that's not what the answer is that we're looking for.
I will let Mr. Barrett give you that definition. Would you give her the definition?
The definition of an asphalt overlay would be an application of a lift probably 2 inches of asphalt. Of course, on that road, you would have to do base reconstruction prior to placing an overlay. I really don't know where your information came from, because I don't know that we've ever committed to doing an overlay on the Luton Road. It's never been on any list of any projects that were submitted for funding.
Yes, sir, the last time we came, we were told that they were looking at Bermuda Road for an overlay. They were. Yes.
I never said that, but anyway, I don't know where the information came from, but there's no list that shows Bermuda Road as being funded for an asphalt overlay at this point.
We came out in numbers today because our road is in bad condition. On Friday, we did receive some patches tore on some of the roadway, and we are appreciative of that. But we're concerned because we don't get regular maintenance to our road. Our road is heavily traveled. And we have several people here that can speak for the conditions of the road. And can you tell us what can or what?
Yes, ma'am, I'll just elaborate too. On Friday and Saturday, we had 2 crews that we put together. Earlier last week, Mr. Solar, who is my road maintenance supervisor, asked about the possibility of doing some overtime work there because he had been through the road and saw how bad it had become. In fact, I was through there also last Wednesday and saw and certainly confirmed the need for some work. So we had 2 crews out on Friday and Saturday. We put out a total of 15 loads of the cold mix material, the cold patch material, which is quite an extensive amount of material to have placed on one road. So that took care basically of the smaller pothole areas. Now the area that's around the intersection of the St. Luke Church Road, St. Paul Church Road, sorry. That area, one of the agenda items tonight is for the council to consider approving the purchase of some road maintenance material that we've recently become aware of and done some test sections called bottom ash. We feel like that would be the material to go in and place over those badly deteriorated areas near the church road intersection. And you know, that's the maintenance that we have in mind for that particular road.
Okay. Our road is heavily traveled, and that's the rock material. That's not. We're against that because it's heavily traveled.
Yes, unfortunately, that's all we have to work with.
Okay. When we get to a point to where the parish doesn't have the funding, can the state assist? These are just questions that we have. We're just trying to get some answers.
No, ma'am. I'm not aware that the state will take over the maintenance of any parish roads.
Well, what we do each year is we submit capital outlay applications in the fall of each year for different projects, and we always submit a number of road projects. Then we compete with other parishes and municipalities, the government entities at the state level, and the legislature, which starts I think April 10th, to try to get some of those funded. Each year, if you're fortunate, you may get 1 or 2 funded. And then we have to try to come up with the matching funds. We have to put up $1 for every $3 they put up. But still, putting up 1 out of 4 is better than putting up 4 out of 4, because we couldn't do that. We have a couple of other projects that were funded by the state that we're working on a priority basis, priority set by the government here. There's the Cocoa Bed Road and Payne subdivision streets and so forth. I don't recall if we've submitted an application for Bermuda Road or not, but we'll have an opportunity again.
Yes, we did. I have a copy of what we turned in over a year ago.
No, what I'm saying is whether the parish submitted one to the state for the capital outlay. We're only.
I don't know if he submitted it as one of his projects. I know he did Fish Hatchery Road, but I don't know for sure if he did.
Patrick Road was the other one that was
But that's what I'm telling you. When they left here, they had the inclination, the way I'm understanding what they're saying is that they thought that their road would be within that mix. Now that was up to Mr. LaCour to select Fish Hatchery Road, or Patrick Road, or the Bermuda Road. And then whatever his priority would have been, that's what he sought to do. So if you tell him today that that road has never been in that selection.
I'll say I don't recall it being in there. I know that
Yeah.
the parish council decided to allow each council member to recommend one road for an application, and that's what we did. And as I recall, I thought it was Fish Hatchery, but I could be correct.
I will clarify that I did put together and recommended to the council at the time that they selected projects. I had put together a tentative priority list for the arterial roads, these are the most heavily traveled roads in the parish system. And Bermuda Road is on that list, but within that particular council district, there were other roads that the council member felt were high priority. So anyway, it is on a prioritized list in the event that we would have monies, and perhaps, I think I did know. I think, wasn't this the list that was put out maybe prior to last fall's sales tax election, and these were some of the roads that we were looking at in the event that the sales tax is passed. So that may be where you talk about this.
Since we are here and we're put on the agenda, can I let someone else speak?
College done, we will have to let Ms. Jefferson, who is actually on our printed agenda, then thereafter, the visitors, any visitors that is in the audience will be able to speak.
Okay.
But they will have the opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so kindly.
Yes.
Ms. Anya Jefferson, and pronounce your name when you come, please.
It's Alondia. A-L-O-N-D-I-A. Good evening. Well, at this time, I just really want to know, my first question is, how much money does the council have for our road from the parish council? I mean, I know you guys have to come up with a certain amount to match the state. What exactly, how much money do you guys have towards our road?
Yeah, the state contribution was $280,000, so the parish contribution is 1/3 of that, which is $93,334.
Okay.
And a portion of that $93,334 is being met or satisfied by the parish doing the engineering work on the project, so we don't have to put up as much cash.
Okay, but do we have a total that we have set aside for?
That is set aside.
The 93?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I mean, I know I received the email from Mr. Barrett, and I thank you for that. So we just want to make sure that our road is going to get done this year. And I mean, we feel like, we just feel like, I mean, the family, when I go and explain to them and tell them what's going on or what was said in the email or whatever, they frustrate me. And again, it seems like, you know, the parish government is just trying to buy time, pass it off. When we've been coming here, well, even before the new government. So it's been, I have emails on my phone dated back to 2011. You know, so we just want it done, and we want a commitment that it's going to be done this year, this summer. We know that you can't do it in the fall or in the spring. I mean, in the winter. You know, July will be here before we know it. And I mean, this is a road that has never ever had anything done to it. Never. This is going back when part of the road was paved back in 1960. You know, you all know the story. You know, they only paved 2.5 miles of it, and the rest of it they didn't. We don't care about that part. We only care about the 9/10. That's it. We only care about the 9/10 because we go to work and we go in and out every day. The buses come by there every day. the buses for coming to Natchitoches Central, picking up kids, the buses that's picking up the kids that's going to Poochville. I mean, we want more of a commitment that you guys intend on getting that done. The 9/10 of a mile, only 9/10 of a mile. We just don't understand why this has to take so long, and we've been patient, we've been coming, you know, we've been communicating, we've sent emails, we have sent letters, I mean, I just don't understand why it takes this. I mean, I understand there's a process to everything. With all due respect, I understand that. But when you've been coming for this long to these meetings, and not that we've been coming to the meeting every month, but for the most part, we've been coming for a long time, and we've been communicating our concerns. And not only other people, you know, it's other people on our road on the other end with the paved part. Well, you know, we've been communicating with other people around our area about what's going on, and they're like, why haven't y'all gotten y'all road yet? Well, it's this now, well, it's that now, well, we have to be approved by this. So we just really just want the road done. I mean, I just don't know.
I was gonna say,
I recognize you.
thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, you have been very patient. And you're still the #1 project for the parish. Part of the problem has been, of course, the amount of time over the last 2 years, and I know people are tired of hearing about the floods, but the damages did occur, and we had to take care of them. And the other part of the problem has been that the highway department has very limited resources for supervision and engineering and what have you, so that we've recently shifted some assignments within the department to free up some of Mr. Brett's time so he can focus in more of his time on the engineering so we can get these projects moving. Would you like to add something?
Yeah, I'm just going to point out too that it was only a few weeks ago that we actually finally received approval from Facility Planning and Control, which is the person, that's the group with the purse string. And we've only a few weeks ago got the approval to move forward with our proposed design to match the existing widths. So as I explained to you in my email last week, I was able to squeeze out a few hours last week to work on the plans. We're literally just a few man hours away from having the plans finished and submitted to facility planning. Once we submit the plans, as I again reminded you that we mentioned before, facility planning, we don't know how long it will take them to review the plans. We don't feel like it'll take very long because we've had all these discussions with them before. But then once the plans are approved, once the specs are approved, and we have approval to advertise for bids, as you said, there will be a minimum 30-day bid advertisement period. Then there will be a bid review, award, and contract execution period, which could take up to 30 days. Then we'll need to give the contractor about 30 days to assemble materials, especially because we're going to be using a new type of base material in the base stabilization process. And then once construction gets underway, I'm saying 30 days, but it's probably going to be a lot less than that. So
we're looking at July.
Somewhere in that time frame, depending on the review time by facility planning. But some of these time frames hasn't.
Holds it up, then it could be further. We were told about facility planning before.
That's always possible, but excuse me for interrupting. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I apologize. No. As we've been discussing this, we've actually gone to Baton Rouge because it's a whole lot better to sit down face to face across the table and talk to those folks than send emails back and forth.
Right.
As you may recall, for a long time, the holdup was that they were insisting that that the road design meet current DOTD standards, and all we were saying is, no, we want to build it to the standards back in place when the road was first overlaid, which means a little bit narrower road. We don't have to meet some of the geometry of the road under the new requirements. And if they had not agreed to do it the way we wanted to do it, the cost would have been out of sight on the road. So they did finally come around just recently and say, okay, we will accept the design under this basis. Go ahead and get moving with the design and yes now.
I recognize Mr. Page.
Thank you.
Ms. Jefferson, thank y'all for coming, being so orderly, being so patient. had some heated meetings up here in the past, and I can certainly tell you that it's very, very frustrating. And for Cocoa Bed and for Payne subdivision, we've been talking about this for 4 or 5 years. I've never seen nothing in my life that take this long to get it. And I'm glad to hear we're saying now possibly July. I heard a month that maybe some gravel and some dirt will be moving out there to start this project. And I know that's not the correct term because the project being started, but people are just so frustrated with talk and having to come up here and hear the same thing that it's going to happen, it's going to happen. They, and I would imagine that more people we're just gonna have to get more involved, I would believe, the Payne subdivision and the Cocoa Bed to get in contact with facility planning or whatever ourselves, because we need this project. Well, that's what I'm telling you now.
It's just hard to get in touch with them.
Well, we probably need to get in contact with our Representative Cox or whoever our representatives are down there, Gerald Long, whoever. We need to basically get the ball rolling with this, because right now the weather is permitting us to have some work done. So year after year and time after time, if you come and you say, we heard the rain, we heard the weather, we heard whatever. But in the meantime, you still can't get home this afternoon. And it's just, people are tired of talking. They want to see some action. And they want to see some work done on those particular projects that we've been talking about forever. I've never, in my whole life, I mean 20-some years sitting, I've never seen nothing like this, to where we have not, no work has been done, as far as I can see, when they come down with Baton Rouge or whoever. And I know we've had some change in the governor and all that, but we got a commitment that a certain amount of money is there in the bank, whatever. Somebody need to release us to be able to get some work. The bridge is out in Payne subdivision, where these people bridge is out. Now the other bridge is about to go out pretty soon. And when that go out, they really gonna have the trouble back there. You know, this is really getting at a proportion that something's got to be done. And I'm just welcome you coming to the court today. And I mean, I thank you for your patience. I can tell you that, as I've seen you many times, you know, you're like, when? It's not, we've done all that we can do for us, and now it's left to the professional people to come with
Ms. Jefferson, we thank you for coming out. I'm sure that's not what you wanted to hear, but we just have to continue. They did tell you that they do have the matching fund, so that's good to know. And we're just going to move forward, okay? And constantly send those emails, and I'll work with them. Thank you. Thank you so kindly. Are there any more visitors? If you would, please come at this time. Corey, just come on and just let me know.
Yeah. I just had a quick question for the parish president and Mr. Nick. So y'all were talking about supervising and engineering and reworking the highway department?
Now, what we've done is that I've asked Nick to shift some assignments from some of his people on a temporary basis to see what we couldn't do to get more of the engineering work out, which requires more of his time, so he would have to delegate some of his normal duties to the road maintenance supervisor and other folks there. All within the intent of not only having proper road maintenance supervision, but having more of his time for the engineering so that we can address these problems.
Mm-hmm. Now, was that what was brought up at last month's council meeting?
Last month's council meeting, we had 2 ordinances which would have actually changed the personnel policy manual to create a part-time parish engineering position. But that was not adopted by the council. And the other ordinance would have remove the requirement of the Director of Public Works being a registered professional engineer. And that was not adopted by council. So within the framework of the authority of the President and the Director to manage the department, we made some minor adjustments out there so that we can try, hopefully accomplish as much of those goals as we could.
I recognize you. And you're going to tell us about this memo while you're talking.
I'm not commenting on the memo,
Okay,
but I would
I'll
like to clarify.
I've changed.
I don't think anybody here understands the scope of duties that I'm trying to accommodate right now. Basically, I'm doing I'll finish.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, since I came to the parish in January of 2013, I have assumed some of the duties that were formerly handled by the Director of Public Works, the former director. I've assumed some of the duties that were performed by the former Assistant Director of Public Works. I've performed many of the duties that were performed by the former Parish Administrator. I've assumed many of the duties that were previously performed by consultant engineers to the parish, and I performed a lot of duties, things that had never been done by anybody in the parish ever in the past. So it's just the broad scope of duties that I have to try to take care of, which is not only engineering, but quite a lot of administrative duties, not to mention supervisory duties. And that's created the problem in the backlog of some of the work that I need to get out. As an example of that, at last month's meeting, there were 7 agenda items that directly related to my department that directly involved my work personally. Now, one of those agenda items was declined by the council. There was no action taken on it. But the other 6 items, when I left from here, for the next several days and even a couple of weeks, I had to work. I had to work on all of these other things, the RFPs to get out, project specifications to get out for the LGAP money. I mean, on and on and on. There's things that I've done that have never been done by the parish before. They take time. When I give you these briefings, it takes time to draft those and to put it in words and try to explain all the things, all the details of these agenda items, the information that you need in order to make decisions. Those things were never done in the past as far as I know. I provide very detailed reports when there's questions asked about certain things. Sometimes it takes hours, literally, of research to obtain the data in order to prepare a report to get back to you to explain what's going on. So I can assure you I'm pedaling a little bicycle as fast as I can, but there's only so much one person can be expected to do. I'm doing the very best I can to get these projects out, and fortunately, Mr. Nowlin has given me some leeway now to try to delegate as much other tasks as possible so as to free me up to get some of the work done. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not doing one job out there. I'm doing the job of at least 4 former employees, 3 former employees of the parish, plus consultant engineers, plus things that we never done before. So please understand, I'm doing the very best I can with the time that I'm. Thank you.
I want to recognize Mr. Beck.
I'm the oldest member sitting up here. I'm the oldest of anybody up here. I'm 72-year-old. I've seen a lot of good things in my life, and I've seen a lot of bad things in my life. But I can tell you one thing. I am sick and tired of being blamed for everything that goes on. My name has been thrown out in every paper, every Yahoo, Facebook, that I'm talking. That I'm shutting down road work, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I understand you have a load, and I've never said you don't have a load. But I don't think you can go back on any agenda and find where Rodney Bedgood voted against any road project that has ever been brought up. Okay, it was stated that I shut down road work. It was stated that I wanted to go back to the jury system. And I don't think you'll ever find anywhere that I've ever stated in any meeting that I wanted to go back to the jury system.
All right.
Hold it a minute, I'm talking just a second. And I want to tell everybody, this is like a school, young school class bunch of people. I've never seen that when things don't go your way and you don't get it just exactly like you want it, it's always somebody else's fault. And I'm going to tell you, excuse my French, I'm sick and damn tired of it, of my name being thrown around. I'm sick of it. We got 14 employees out there in the highway department, about right? About 14 or so? 17. We have a highway director, and I know he does engineering work. But he draws a good salary for that. He got a good raise for that.
Amen.
Wait a minute. Excuse me. He has an assistant. His assistant has an assistant. Then we have a greater man that takes care of all the, most of the laws, the permits, and all that. So there's plenty of people out there. If 3 can't run 17 men, then something needs to change. I'm sorry. I did not vote. I'm just saying it like it is. I did not vote myself now. I'm not speaking about anybody. I'm talking about this council member. I did not vote to put him as an engineer for 3 days a week for almost $90,000 a year salary. Well, $70 an hour, figured up. Debbie figured it up last month, $87,000 something, wasn't it? $87,000 and something dollars. Well, that's what you said it to me. You said $70 an hour is what you wanted to pay him.
When you finish it, I'll talk.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you, I don't care. Y'all can do what y'all want to. But I'm sick and tired of my name being thrown out there like it's my fault of everything. I'll try to help do anything I can to see this parish better. But I'm not the fault of all of it. And I'm sick and tired of my name being thrown out on every little thing. Rodney Bedgood this, Rodney Bedgood that, Rodney Bedgood this. And if you ask me tonight, would I want to go back to the police jury? Crap, yeah. I'll just say it outright. Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
And I'll stop. But I said I wasn't going to get mad tonight, and I'm not.
I'm going to recognize myself, okay, at this time. 2 things. First of all, Mr. Bedgood, not only your name, but my name as well. The president put my name out there to say that we was causing all of the problems here in this, on this council.
Madam Chair, I object to this entire discussion.
Well, it's out there.
It's out there.
And
Look, is this discussion on the agenda?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
We have the right to, the public has a right to speak. I have a right as the chairman to speak. And when I'm speaking, I'm asking you to be quiet. Again.
To a point.
Okay.
We're nowhere on this agenda.
Okay.
We're off the agenda.
Russell,
We're off topic.
You're
and I
out
need to get back on the topic.
Have a seat.
We are off topic.
Have a seat.
You can't make me sit down
Okay.
because we're
You're out of
we're
order.
off agenda. You are out of order.
You are out of order.
No, ma'am.
And I will go back. I will go back.
Am I right or wrong?
I will
We're
go
off
back.
topic.
I will go back to what Mr. Nolan was saying. You open up for this memo. You open up this for this memo. Okay, so let the parish know what you said in this memo. We were here last month. You opened it, no, you opened it up. You opened it up for this council. You opened it up for the council, so let's just bring it on all out. Last month, we voted down. Okay, can I get you all to be quiet over there, please? And let me say what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, now I need to put this out here.
What I'm talking about,
Yes.
childhood service here.
Okay, this is what we have, this is what we have. You found out about the memo. This council voted it down for the engineer position. You came right behind us on February the 24th and wrote a letter to our Public Works Director. You told him that you was gonna make the changes anyway, and that he would stay in the Public Works Director, but these are the 4 things that you wanted him to do. You are to continue serving as director of the department, but will focus on engineered tasks that the parish need to have completed as practical.
Like paying and
You will perform only the administrative tasks you deem absolutely necessary for continuing operation of your department. You are to designate one of your staff that you deem capable to serve as road maintenance supervisor, acting under your authority, handling the day-to-day operations and connecting with road maintenance. This is to include investigation of road condition, planning, repair activities, and supervising the road repairs. It should also include responding to citizen calls. So, Mr. Barrett, you are not taking any calls from the citizens. And requests for road. This is what you told him not to do. Okay, I won't. And understand, you wanted him to understand that he wished to name a person to this position. That person, you know who that person is. You may designate another of your staff that you deem capable to serve as acting road supervisor, who would assist the road maintenance supervisor in road maintenance activity, serving in his absence. I understand that you wish to name, and that person, I won't say his name, to this position. This would give the council 2 full-time employees actually planning, supervising, and inspecting the road work. Also, you gave one of them that raise. And again, I'm going to say to you, please keep my name off of the internet and in the newspaper calling 3 of these council members names saying, and it was really sad to read that we're supposed to be working together and you're out bashing 3 of these council members.
And I respond.
Next agenda item. Next visitor. Next visitor. I'm recognizing the next visitor.
I'd like to speak. Would you hold on just a minute, please? No.
Our visitors.
No. Wait a minute.
Visitors.
I want to say
Our visitors are waiting.
Thank you for reading
Our
that, because
visitors
the
are
people
waiting.
saw I was trying to get the road work done.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get the engineering work done.
Go ahead.
She's making a big deal out of it. I did everything within
Go
my
ahead.
authority as parish president, and thank
I
you for pointing that out, Madam Chair.
I recognize you.
Thank you for coming.
I'm Marsha Rachel Kobe again. I have a question. I appreciate you bringing the workers out Friday and Saturday for overtime. I did stop your Saturday and thank your workers for coming out Saturday for putting the stuff out. But I got upset after having a conversation with one of them because of this bottom ash that y'all were planning on putting down. Because this white stuff that y'all have down with the buses flying and cars speeding down Louisville Road. Now, I don't even know what the speed limit is on Louisville Road, because I swear, they think it's like 60 or 70 miles an hour. Because buses are flying down that road I'm reporting buses to late law, early in the morning. I mean, it's dark when I'm going to work in the morning. I don't see potholes. I'm driving like 5 miles an hour. I'm like, somebody breathing, and they're flying by me. Because I'm trying to avoid potholes, okay? And so I gotta understand, and I do apologize to you.
Well, I can say,
No, apologize.
on the bottom ash
But wait,
is good. What I've seen put out on the main trail
but the
is
thing,
good.
about it is,
It's good.
my windshield is cracked now already from the stuff, that white stuff, and from them flying down our road. Y'all not gonna replace my windshield?
If I could just kind of cut to the chase on this.
Okay.
This bottom ash material, what we found so far with the use of it, we tried a little bit on Mammy Trail, we tried it on a couple other roads. It seems to knit together very well, and it appears that it's going to stay in place without the dusting and without the particles becoming loose. That's the problem with one of the problems with the wind rock. It's the fact that it is dusty, it does dislodge particles, and the wind rock also, once it sets up, it can't be graded. It's like concrete out there. That's why we're trying this bottom ash, and it's about 1/3 of the cost of the wind rock. And so we really feel like this is going to be a better approach there. So again, pending council action tonight, we're hopeful that we can use that material there, and I'm very glad to hear the report.
It's good. What's been down there, it's compacted now. Hadn't been any rain on it yet. It's staying. It's staying right now hard. It's better than the white rock to me.
Exactly, because the white stuff has those deep, and my tires, you should see my tires.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like they're slashing my tires.
Yes, ma'am. And that's one of the reasons we had to place that material in that one spot, but rather than continue with that, we saw the issues it was causing there with as much traffic as on the road. That's why we were trying for something else. So give us a chance with this, and let's see how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out well, we'll try something else.
Because after that, it's like they stop.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks, visitor.
Good
State your
afternoon.
name, sir.
My name is Carl Sides, and I live in District 4. My issue is I had a District 1, but District 3. But you ready? All right. Chris is my man that I talk to all the time and everything. But last night I had a lot of issues. And I'm not on the council board or anything else, and I had people call me about St. Paul Church. I love St. Paul Church because it's a foundation of a historical black church in the community in Bermuda. I can understand that we can go around and we can do different things and we can patch and we can patch. We have been using patches in our black community for years and years. Back where I live on the square, we get a bunch of patchwork. We have what you call people are paying taxes. Every year, whatever taxes, sales taxes come up, everybody is paying their share. Now, my issue is why these people cannot get the things that they need. Now, this guy talking about wearing white rocks, right? I worked for Halliburton Oil Company for 26 years. Those rocks is used out in bad weather, where you're running heavy trucks and everything over. Now, my thing of it is, if you're spending all the money buying this sort of material, we need to look at going fixing these roads. I don't understand. There's a lot of hair raising that going on down here. And you know what? For all us to be grown people, you know what, Mister? I don't even know who you are. I know him. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? If this governance system here is not working, we need to revert and go back to the old system, because the old system had more money, and guess what? Everybody was happy and everybody got things done. We have people now that making, how many towers you got? 4? Sorry? How many towers you have? 4?
I have one.
No, I'm just asking a question. Excuse me. No, I mean, I'm just going with what, hey,
No.
excuse me.
We're not here.
No, if this man, hold on. Can I finish?
No, sir.
No, yes,
We're
I
not
am.
gonna- No, we're not.
Yes,
gonna-
I am.
We're not gonna.
I need to know, what I'm saying, if
No,
this
we're not
man
gonna
here,
get into the
you see,
personnel matters.
if this man here owns 4 Tyler, and he making,
Okay.
I mean, he's asking.
I'm just
He just said
he's
he had
saying,
4 towers. He ain't telling him something.
no, he's saying how many towers he holds.
I mean, come on, people, move on. Let's.
I mean, the only thing I'm saying is, if he's holding all these towers, when is he gonna do the first one? I mean, it's stuff need to be done. And you don't think, you know why you all can't get anything passed? This is my first time ever coming down here. My first time and my immediate last time, because it's too much animosity and hell raising and everything else. Everybody want to be the chief, the boss, and everything else. If the parish government do what they say they're going to do for the people in the community and the rural areas, get these streets done, and I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have to turn back and go back to the old system. The old system worked. Because guess what? You ain't have all these problems. You ain't have one man with 4 jobs and can't do one. That's it. That's what I'm saying. And you know what? You people down there that on Bermuda Road, the White Rocks, the dark skinny rocks, that other lady, I'm going to give you my shoes. Because your road will not get fixed because guess what? It's a pull on every year.
Okay.
Bank subdivision, same thing.
Mr. Carl, thank you. Okay, next one, please.
I'm out of here.
But one thing I'm not happy about the road.
Okay.
Last March, I was appointed to the board.
State your name, for the record, please.
Lawrence Sampe, Fire Chief, District Number 2.
Spell that last name for us.
Sampey. I was appointed to the board and tried to get District 2 straightened up. And at that time, we asked Mr. Nolan about our board members. We've got 4 board members, and we've been asking for our 7 members, and he said it wasn't nowhere in the statutes that we get 7 members. Well, I brought it up here today that it come out of legislature and amended in 1987 that we're allowed 7 members on our board, 6 members, and the 7th be appointed by us as a chairman. And I just want to get it straight that I have it in my hand, and I'll be sending more board members up here to be appointed to our board. And if he don't want to go through it, then we'll go to our Attorney General and get it done. But I have been trying to get this for a year. And we had a chiefs meeting about a month ago, and some of the other chiefs in different parishes brought it up to me that it was listed on the IRS code, and I want to make sure that I would present it to this board and get my other board members appointed at a regular meeting down the line.
Okay, and I'm gonna let Mr. Our President, answer you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes. If I recall correctly, and there may be a miscommunication here, Mr. Sampe, I think that 2 of those board members are actually appointed by the Village of Gold Island.
Correct?
Okay. And then 4 can be appointed by the parish.
Correct.
And then the 6 together will select a 7th member.
That's correct.
So we may have a failure to communicate.
I went
I
to you
don't know.
personally, and I told you that, and you said that we cannot find it nowhere in the charter that is that the case. I looked for the charter over and over when I took over, and everything's been scrapped. But then I got this, and I said, I want to come up here today and notify you that to be on notice, we'd be sending some more board members.
If you think I've told you something that's incorrect, all you have to do is point it out to me, and we'll address it. Well, I mean, I'm in my
I
office.
don't come up here and argue and all
I've got a
that.
telephone. I've got a telephone.
When I come up here, I'm telling you just like this between all these board members, to where I know and you know it's a fact. It's not me, you, or no communications members or nothing like that. I'm telling you now, it's a fact that Mr. Charles Weaver had it done and Mr. Don Kelly had it done in 1987.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
I rest my case. Y'all vote whatever y'all want now.
Since I'm in the corner, I'd like to ask a question. And
Come to the podium, please.
well, I'm way back in.
Okay.
Since, all of this seems to be involving money and the budget, does the parish government have a say-so in when the city takes over extending the city limits? Because every time they extend the city limits, that's taking money away from the parish. So why do you all get a cut whenever they extend the city limits and take, for instance, there's the I-49, where they getting money from the businesses? Do you all get a part of that, or do you all have a say-so in that?
There's laws that have been put on the book because of what happened out there, that the city annexed a lot of communities. Many years ago when I first came here, for instance, Payne subdivision was going to be annexed into the city, and I jokingly always would tell them to put them some video poker machines back there because they were annexing everything that had video poker machines. And they looked at tax dollars, video poker machine, to annex into the city limits many times. So there was a bill passed that if they annexed some of the parish tax that they were collecting, they still would continue to get that tax money. So that is no longer a problem for the parish. So the city has a right to annex, and we cannot stop that. But then again, when you look at the definition of annex, it's like a family that we're all supposed to be on the same accord. So it's a good thing sometimes, and sometimes it can be used in other methods. But and to answer your question, no, they can't take away our parish money.
Because to me, it seems as if the only thing that they're annexing is where they're getting the bulk of the money from with the taxes. Just my opinion.
My name is John Austin. I live out on Mammoth Trail Road. And I want to bring one thing. I had marked 2 culverts last year, right after the flood, massive flood we had in March. And the reason I remember that is